Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Pastor's Chat. This might be the oddest setup you see yet. This is a special, we could call this as a special Pastor's Chat. But we have everyone with us here today from Pastor Dave, Pastor Peter, Pastor Jacob, and with us as well, actually, technically, Pastor Don, but Don. He is ordained in our denomination, so I thought he should be called Pastor Don today as well. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don is going to take it over from here, so thank you for being here, Don. It's all you.
Okay. One of the things that the Bible Fellowship Church does is mandate at least one committee to be part of each church, and that's the Pastoral Relations Committee. So today I'm here representing them as well as the elders to do what in October has become historically Pastors Appreciation Month. And so we like to at least acknowledge our pastors and express our appreciation to them. Now, I don't know if you guys are like me, but mandated holidays sometimes become an irritation. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, especially if any holidays have to do with me. I just as soon not be at the center of things. But there is some biblical basis for God saying over and over again to set time aside to remember things, to acknowledge things, to be thankful for things that He has done. And so I think by setting time aside for pastor appreciation, as awkward as that may feel for you guys, it's an important reminder for us that we need to do this. And it's more than just sending me to the store to buy you all cards, but that
we would like that.
But that we really need to take time to do that, and we need to be reminded to do that, because the opposite is, well, why do I need to be told to appreciate my pastors? I should just do that, but it never happens if it's just supposed to happen organically. So it's important for us to set time aside, and particularly this time, to express our appreciation for you as our pastors. And one of the things I think even COVID has taught me is, as I get older, I start to really perfect my curmudgeonliness. And so I've really learned that we need to be expressing appreciation. We need to be saying thank you. And because everybody is working in an uncomfortable, unfamiliar environment. And so expressing appreciation this year is even more so. And so we want to take that time to set aside for that, to do that this morning. And I was thinking we could go around and you guys could share the challenges of ministering in a pandemic. But my thought this morning was, as I looked out the window in my house, was it probably is like ministering in the fog that enveloped us this morning. You can't see where you're going. Nobody's ever been there before, so you can't go take a seminar on how to minister in a pandemic because nobody knows how to do it. And given that, I think our appreciation for the work that you guys are doing is even magnified more because this every day is a new experience, a new way to do that. You guys probably can write manuals on how to do Zoom. I've just been intrigued. I always wanted to be part of the Brady Bunch, and now I get to be part of that every time I'm on Zoom.
Do you start your Zoom meetings with the song?
Right. No, but it's just that, trying to create the connections and to pastor, to shepherd, to do the things that God has called you to do and has enabled you guys to do very well in a completely foreign environment. So it's more important, I think, because of that, to express our appreciation for that. I thought as a biblical basis to talk this morning would be to pull the verse from Acts chapter 20, 28, when Paul is meeting for the last time with the Ephesian elders. And when he's talking to them, verse 28 says, "Watch out for yourselves and for all the flock of which the Holy Spirit has made you overseers, to shepherd the church of God that he obtained with the blood of his own Son." And so I want to just pull out a couple of things there Normally, when we do this on a Sunday morning, I don't get to explain why I picked what I picked. But today I get to explain some of the points in here that I think are important. And the first one is really struck me. It starts out saying, watch out for yourselves. And I think that's an aspect that's easily overlooked for pastors. I mean, you guys are so focused on ministering to others that you need to be reminded to watch out for yourselves. And so I want you to really take that to heart, to not overlook the care for yourselves. My encouragement is to resist that temptation that caring for yourselves is somehow being selfish, that I'm not allowed to do this. Well, Paul says you're supposed to do this. God says you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to watch out for yourself. And so it's necessary for you to be able to minister effectively. And the second thing is for us as a congregation to encourage you, to admonish you, to watch out for yourselves, is also for us the need to respect your time in caring for yourself and your family, because that enables you to minister effectively to us. So we need to say, well, Tim or Dave or Jacob or Peter are not available. That's because they need not to be available. I had a professor in seminary said, you need to keep a calendar, you need to write on it nothing planned. So when somebody comes to you and you look at your calendar, you can say, oh, I have nothing planned. And they say, oh, great, we can meet for breakfast. And you say, no, I have nothing planned. And so if you don't plan to do it, it can easily get crowded out. So I really encourage you to watch out for yourselves and care for yourselves and your families as well. And that is part of you ministering to us as our pastors. The second thing is with that same diligence that I hope I've encouraged you to do for yourself, to then watch out for the flock of God, to watch out for the congregation. There's a sense to guard it, to protect it, to say, nobody's allowed in here unless I clear it, that I have to guard this as well as I would my family, to guard it against anything that would injure or wound the flock. And that can come from a host, and you guys know that's probably what you're hearing from ministering to people, is the threats and the things that are out there that can wound and injure the congregation. There's the third part, to shepherd the flock, to guide it in places of nourishment and safety. One translation I read said to feed it well. So my encouragement to you is to don't indulge us. Make sure we eat our broccoli. That there's things that we don't want to hear. There's things that are uncomfortable, but those are the things you need to say. Those are the things that we need to hear. Don't just give us cotton candy. That is what everybody wants. It's sweet and, you can eat it forever, but it's not what we need. And so feed us well. It would be the third thing. And then as you do these things, to remember two things. One, the Holy Spirit's called you to do this. He's appointed you to do this. And to do it not just as in a general sense that I'm called to ministry, but he's called you guys here. There's no mistake about that. There's no doubt about that not only are you called to minister, but you're called to minister in Coopersburg at Calvary Bible Fellowship Church. And that we believe wholeheartedly. Because as we continue to discover, you guys are uniquely gifted to be here right now. And so we need to appreciate you as that gift of God to be ministering among us right now. And then the final thing is, as you do this, to remember ultimately the church belongs to Jesus. The end of that verse talks about that he purchased this with his own blood. It doesn't belong to you, you're stewards, but you protect it as if you owned it. But ultimately it's God who owns the church here. And so that gives you a bit of freedom. Because you're caring for something owned by somebody else. So that means you're responsible to them for what you do, but ultimately it's theirs and they get to do with it what they choose. And so the rise and fall, people, whatever happens, you don't have to bear that weight. Ultimately, it's God's flock and he cares for it. And right now he's chosen to care for it through you guys. And so we are so appreciate that. And so the elders just want to acknowledge our appreciation for you with a small gift that's in this card. I was thinking if we had this done a couple of months ago, I could just bring rolls of toilet paper, and that'd probably be that would be more valuable than what's in the card. But but we just it's just a small token of just our appreciation of the dedication you guys have shown in a very unique and difficult and unusual time in all of our lives. And so as we all are navigating this, we so appreciate you and your shepherding care of this flock at Calvary.
Thank you.
Sure. So
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, okay.
Well, Don, thank you for joining us today, and I think all of us, as I was sitting here too, we just wanted to say thank you as well to the elders that do care for us as pastors and reach out to us, but also our church here. We love to minister and shepherd our church, but there are so many people in this congregation that I want to say thank you to them for the phone calls that they make to me, the emails of encouragement and the love that they show to myself, and I know to these fellow pastors, to encourage us to keep going into our ministry and to remind us in those moments that we're not sure what we did was helpful, and then somebody sends you that nice email just thanking you for that. So I just wanted to say that. Anybody else have anything to say before we close our time?
yeah, I do have one thing I almost forgot. Just as those who are seeing this, you guys and Callie included for his work earlier this year are the pastoral staff, but there are a lot of others here.
Yes.
That make the ministry work. And so I would encourage them to encourage them and appreciate them as well, whether it's the ladies in the office or Jen Yanka with the children's ministries or Jenny Hughes with the preschool or even Randy and all that he needs to do to keep the facilities running. Just so appreciate their work as well.
Yeah, and to top that off, one thing, I've just seen, today is my last day or my first day not having to be in quarantine because I traveled to a heavy populated area. And one thing I've been blessed by is our servant leaders. For 3 weeks I couldn't be with Calvary Youth, and we've had an awesome team. And I know there's other teams like our worship team and whatnot who give up, weeks after weeks just serving the body. And so we want to appreciate you all as well if you're here serving in any capacity.
Thank you for being on Pastor's Chat. We'll see you guys next time.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.